All right, Ike. Well, I know you've been away for a little bit, so I don't know how much of the news you got out deep in the wilderness. But there
None.
was none, no news at all. Well, no news is good news, but I don't know if you had a chance.
It was
to see
windy, and the smoke signals were indistinct.
We're indistinct. It all kind of just blended together into
right.
one sort of. Yeah, I don't know. There was recently a Defender that rolled over like 72 times.
Oh no!
Was
everybody okay?
Everyone is okay. I have been told by reading the internet that everybody is okay. Apparently, some Instagram account actually like called the people, somehow found their number and called them to see if they were okay, and apparently they are okay. But Nick Dimbleby posted it, I think, to his Instagram and some stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Have you had a chance to see the video?
I just watched it, and I'm dizzy watching this happen. They rolled over that many times. It was pretty incredible. This was on it looks like a California freeway. Is that right?
Yeah, it seems about right. I mean, it has the appropriate amount of lanes and K-rail to look pretty Californian, and combination of terrible driving, which is also pretty California.
I think that's the real giveaway, is terrible driving at high speeds.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, for those of you that haven't seen it, a Defender, a brand new Defender, is in the right-hand most lane of maybe a 6-lane highway. Does that sound right?
One. Yeah, it's a big one.
In the next lane to the left is a semi-truck.
Mm-hmm.
The semi-truck is apparently driving the speed limit in the appropriate lane.
Mm-hmm.
The Defender is traveling at a high rate of speed on the right-hand most lane, and it is passing the semi-truck going at least 20 miles an hour faster than the semi, passing on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
In the next lane over is a Honda CR-V, who is also driving along a little faster than the speed limit.
Yep.
And he has decided that this is, in fact, his exit. He has almost missed it.
Almost missed the exit. Yeah.
But with an abrupt lane change across 2 lanes, he
in
can
front of an 18-wheeler.
In front of an 18-wheeler, he might be able to make this lane change and make his exit.
Yeah.
And so he does that and clips the back of the Defender.
Essentially does a perfect pick maneuver on the
does a pit maneuver on the Defender's rear left-hand wheel, causing it to rapidly lose control, roll over, and
just keep rolling.
It's terrifying.
It's such a long time. Yeah.
I think the takeaway here is if you're going to be a bad driver, you better have a safe car. And the new Defender looks like it held up pretty well.
It did, yeah.
If I was in my Series Land Rover, I would have died like 6 times in this accident.
Well, the nice thing about being in your Series Land Rover is there is not a long enough stretch of road on the planet to get it up to that speed. So I think even on a very steep hill that's 100 miles long, you couldn't get it going that fast. So I think you'd be all right.
Yeah, but at the same time, somebody could abruptly change through 2 lanes of traffic and do a pit maneuver on the back of your car at any speed and cause you to roll over, and you would die.
Yeah, it would be good. I don't know that you could get enough energy into the series cars to actually flip it over the K-rail on the 5th roll or whatever it was.
Yeah, in the process of rolling over, it goes across probably 4 lanes of traffic at least.
Easily. Yeah.
And crosses over the barrier between the 2 sides of the highway, takes out a light pole, which severs and falls, and then rolls over a couple more times and ends up facing the opposite direction on the other side. It's actually going the right way.
Yeah, it's going the right way. It's ready to just keep going. Then it could just except that it left what looks like its front entire wheel carriage, so its wheel hub assembly sitting on top of the K-rail on the other side. So
it's really a spectacular accident. And this person must have been like an accountant or something, because there is paper everywhere.
So much paper.
Everywhere.
It explodes into paper, which is really strange.
It must have had 50 reams of paper in the back of that car.
I don't know. They had just been to the Staples. They picked up a case of fresh new printer paper and exploded it all over the road. But yeah, I'm told everybody was okay, which is a real testament because I mean that is a serious accident. It's some Fast and Furious shit going on in that particular sequence, and yeah, everybody walked away. So there you go. I mean, for all of the naysaying of the new Defender, you couldn't do that in a classic Defender. Again, I'll say there's no way you could ever get a classic Defender going that fast. I mean, maybe if you had one of the crazy...
You could do it in a classic Defender, you just couldn't do it twice.
You just couldn't... Exactly.
You only do it once.
You do it once. Yeah, you do it once. Maybe if you had one of those LS swapped ones, then your chances of a catastrophic rollover that kills you and everyone you know is higher. But maybe you never know. There's so much rolling resistance. Just the wind alone, you'd have to be in a vacuum to make it work properly.
Anyway, we're all glad that everyone was okay, and it is really a spectacular accident and worth checking out if you're curious about the integrity of the body shell or the monocoque chassis on the new Defender.
Yeah, there you go. That torsional rigidity really came in.
And speaking, there apparently horrible things have been happening to lots of Land Rovers, lots of new Land Rovers recently. What else happened?
Well, to celebrate the recent anniversary of the Range Rover there on it was a couple weeks ago here in June, the company, I assume transporting cars to Land Rover's headquarters in New Jersey. I'm sure we could reach out to Joe and ask him if that is the case, and he would not respond to us. But there was a brand new. And remember, these are $104,000 cars. A brand new Range Rover, still registered to its California manufacturer's plates, that fell off the top of a car carrier. And when I first heard about it, I'm like, ooh, that's a bummer. You know, you've seen the things where the straps or something holding it on the back will snap and the car will roll off the back of the truck. No, this one came off the side. This one rolled off the side. Again, a multiple rollover. It looks like it rolled off the side, completely smashed in the roof of the car, and then somehow ended up back on its wheels. The front tire, which is my favorite part of this. No one, again, there was apparently someone who was potentially injured because it rolled over onto another car. No one died, and I believe everybody is fine now. But the car rolled off, and the front tire actually came off the rim. It's just sort of sitting on the rim sideways. It was just real carnage. It was like decapitated that car. Just the whole top of it is just gone. So, you know, rollover on the freeway is okay, but if you plan on riding out a roll off the second story of a car carrier, your mileage may vary on that. But yeah, it's too bad. Like a brand new, like I'm sure it has basically no miles on it. And it was with five other identicals, one of six identical Range Rovers in this sort of launch color, that kind of champagne-y silver color. Yeah, completely destroyed. It's rough. Looks real bad.
Yeah. Again, fortunately, no one was injured, but it is spectacular. So if you get a chance, check out the photos. It will probably be on a car lot near you for sale.
Yeah, just some slight use.
Somebody's gonna buy it at a salvage auction and fix it. Oh yeah, nothing's wrong with it.
No, it's fine. They're gonna swap an LS in it. It'll be great. It's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait.
It'll be on Bring a Trailer in no time.
No time at all. It's very famous now. It's very famous. So both of those cars, maybe, that'll be very famous. They've got lots of internet credibility. So certainly more internet credibility than we do. And
it would not take much.
No, it doesn't take much at all. Speaking of not taking much and having no internet credibility, you were obviously not here last episode because you were engulfed, if you will, in the world famous Gambler 500 up there.
This is true.
Beautiful Pacific Northwest. How was it?
The Gambler was amazing as always. It is for those of you that don't know, the premise of the Gambler 500 is to take an inexpensive car and drive it on a road rally to find various checkpoints that the organizers have deemed easy. Mm-hmm. Gambling, like you might make it, you might not. Mm-hmm. Or the third category of checkpoints is the devil's butthole. Very difficult to find. Uh-huh. And so there's a series of GPS checkpoints, and you're supposed to take your tastefully modified inexpensive car on this road rally. And so we have done it in the past, and sort of the informal rule of thumb is a $500 car. You know, very difficult nowadays to do the $500 car. It's hard because cars don't cost $500 anymore. But sometimes you can find one that's in poor condition or whatever. But some people get out of hand. That's not strictly enforced. It's really an opportunity for people to fly their freak flag. They dress up in costumes. They have these outlandish cars that they've created, Mad Max style, Astro vans with no roof, and 1965 Cadillacs on super swampers, fire breathing Subarus, giant buses, articulated buses on tractor tires. It's an opportunity for people to do something creative and be a little silly and have some fun out in the woods. And the big thing that they do, and they are proponents of, is picking up trash out in the wilderness. So every year they pick up tons and tons of trash, and they clean up a lot of beautiful places for everyone to enjoy. So,
and how much of that trash is created by the shitbag cars falling apart during the rally?
I would say 0%, really. I mean, not that doesn't happen, but I would say in general, these folks are pretty conscientious. They're there to have a good time, but at the same time, they leave no trace, so to speak. So
of their super swamper articulated bus.
Yeah, and they have like a camp out at the fairgrounds. It's a weekend event, and they have a camp out, and they have bands and various events. They have what they call Hoopty Cross, which is a race track, a dirt racing track with $500 cars. And so, there's all kinds of shenanigans that happen, and, silliness ensues. It's good people watching this Gambler 500. So we decided to commission the worst looking Land Rover in our lot, which was a ranch truck, a 1963 Series IIA 88 ranch truck. And it had not been registered in 49 years.
Okay.
And this car was heavily patinaed, and by heavily patinaed I mean mostly smashed. All the fenders are smashed, every corner is smashed, the roof is smashed, everything is smashed. It lived a hard life on a ranch. Dry car, very little rust, very original, but basically got used really hard on a ranch, hit every fence post in a 40-mile radius, and then it was parked in a barn, and then the barn fell on the car, smashing it further. And then they disassembled the barn, got the Land Rover out, used it for another couple decades. And then finally something happened. The brakes went out or something, and they parked it for quite a while. So it was a very rough Land Rover, but we got it into shape, and we got it running, and we were like, man, this thing runs pretty good. And then we went to drive it for the first time and realized that it had no second gear. So we didn't have time to fix that. And so we did the entire event with 3 gears.
Right. First, third, and fourth. Yeah.
First, third, and fourth gears.
Yeah.
And it did fine. We did, I would say, 200-300 miles that we were only able to do one day. And we did 200 or 300 miles and maybe 120 miles off-road. And it was great. It didn't have any trouble. We were able to push some other competitors up some slippery sections. It did really well.
And what modifications did you make to it before you went?
We made it run. That was the biggest modification that we made, was that we made it run. Right. And one really incredible thing happened, really unlikely turn of events. So we got to the fairgrounds where they have the staging area, and we've had this car for probably 2 or 3 years, something like that. It's been sitting in our yard, and we got it running. We loaded it up on the trailer, towed it to the event, and we unloaded it. And some of the guys we were with were like, "Hey, let's all pile in the Land Rover and kind of check out a lot of the other entrants." And by the way, this is a huge event. There's probably 1,000 cars there. 1,000 cars that are all crazy modified. And then mini bikes is a whole other category of crazy vehicles that people, modify and run around. So there's like 9,000 mini bikes there and 1,000 cars, and it's just mayhem. It's mayhem. And we get the Land Rover unloaded. We kind of like roll up the soft top. We get in the car with some snacks and beverages, and we're kind of doing the slow drive around the event grounds. We drive down this relatively steep slope, and this guy comes running out, and he's like, hey, stop. And we thought maybe we were driving around place or something, driving into his camp or something. And he said, this Land Rover used to belong to my family. And apparently his family owned the Land Rover from new, and he recognized it. And he couldn't believe that it was operational. He was just like, I cannot believe you have this car running. So what are the chances of that happening?
That is like, it's a small world.
Very small. So within, 20 minutes of this happening, we run into the previous owner. So it was pretty incredible. He was telling us all about it. He was very happy to see it on the road again. It was taking pictures of it, sending pictures to his family.
Is he going to buy the car back? Does he want it?
I don't think he wants it.
He wants nothing to do with it. It's like, it's great that this
happy
exists.
To see it.
I don't want anything to do with this, though. I don't want anything to do with this thing.
He's happy to see it. So,
okay.
Linus and I, we did the full mileage, or as much as we could, in the Land Rover in the allotted time, and it was nice to see all these cars. Our friends came up from Reno. Steve Francis, who's a friend of the show and prolific Land Rover enthusiast there. He fielded a Subaru, since both of his Land Rovers were not operational. He had a Subaru that was lifted and had big tires on it, and all kinds of craziness, roof racks and light bars and hood pins and various go fast equipment.
Things, you need
all the things that you need for a goofy
Subaru
car of questionable legality. It was great. The tires stuck out a little further than the body, so it was extremely muddy. This event is in the desert, so we were expecting dry conditions. Incredibly muddy. There were at least 5 limos that were stuck on the race course.
I did see the limos. That seems to be a popular car. People love the limousine on the Gambler.
They like the limousine. It's inexpensive and carries a lot of stuff and people.
Right.
So,
are most teams made up of 12 people in the back of a limousine, or
they can be? Some of them are made up. There was some Camel Trophy, sort of, what do you call those, tribute vehicles? So there was a whole, your team was there. Where were you?
Yeah, it's a good point. I know. We were back here buying old Freelanders. That seems to be the which update on the Freelander may not be able to be titled. So just FYI on that.
That is not something I would have expected. Why not? Can you tell us why?
Yeah, so there's a question about. No, it's a chain of title issue. The car was bought and sold. So like I said, the car was donated to the Kidney Foundation. That's how it left its real titled owner. I have that title. Then there's about 14 change of ownership. California, you could just do a change of ownership if you're a dealer without having to do a title change. So then there's about 14 changes of ownership. What I didn't realize when I purchased it was 2 of those are in Mexico. And the United States will not register a car once it's been sold into Mexico. And this car technically was sold into Mexico twice. But then it's still here, and so, anyways, there's a whole thing to that. So, stay tuned for that saga. Also,
this sounds like a good purchase that you've made.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It's fantastic, and don't worry, I've already spent all the money on it to get it running again. So don't worry about that. Now, one trick you can do is you can get a mechanic's lien on a car and wipe out the title, the chain of title on it. So, if you have a friend who's a mechanic in California and you just leave it with that friend and you don't pay him for some work, then it's within his right to put a mechanic's lien on it and claim the title. So
that sounds like something you have a lot of experience with.
you have enough shitty, crazy old Land Rovers and cars and things, and you figure out some tricks. But anyways, we're working on.
I meant leaving your car at someone's shop and not paying them for the work.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, and I have a number of things that have been left here, and So, anyways, So we'll see. We'll update. Hopefully, we get that sorted out, because I think that would be a super fun Gambler 500 car, because it's already ready to go. It's got everything you need. It's
It's
orange.
It's a loud color. It's got a roof rack.
Yeah, we're gonna rope
got a
up
ropey
the
bumper.
Yeah, we're gonna rope it like crazy. So, yeah, maybe next year.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. So, speaking of roped up bumpers, we are headed to the Pacific Northwest Overland Expo coming up here now very soon. Coming up July
Imminently.
8th, 9th, and 10th. They're in Bend, Oregon, famously home of the last blockbuster video in the country. Is that still there? Do you know?
I believe it is.
Wow. We should rent it. I think we should do a meet and greet at the Blockbuster Video in Bend, Oregon. It feels like it's very on brand for us. It is an insignificant and irrelevant brand that we can associate ourselves with. That feels appropriate.
Lots of nostalgia, though.
Oh, super nostalgic. And there's like a small group of people that are very passionate about it. That's everything. That's us. That's us in a nutshell right there. So if you are going to be at Overland Expo in Bend, Oregon on the 9th, that's the Saturday the 9th, we are going to have a flotilla of Land Rovers there under the Underpowered Hour banner. And if you come find us in the camping area, hang out. And we will have merch that we are selling under the table at don't tell the Overland Expo people, but we'll sell you some T-shirts. We're going to bring some T-shirts and stickers. We're going to bring some of those dumb notebooks, maybe a set of coasters. We'll see. All the things
Steven will be bringing his tattoo gun. If you come and you mention the show,
yes,
he will give you a free Underpowered Hour tattoo.
That's right. That's exactly right. Amateur tattoo. I've bought all the stuff on Amazon. I've watched several YouTube videos. Now, some of them over 20 minutes long. I feel like I got this. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, we got it figured out.
I've seen the work. It's good.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. So that'll be Saturday. And again, if you find Ike, myself, Jenna, Liza, possibly Linus wandering around at Overland Expo, first of all, ask if we're lost and we need help. Then if not, say hello and we'll get you a sticker. We're going to have a bunch of stickers and stuff with us to hand out to folks that find us along the way. And if you want, please come on over to the Underpowered Hour camping compound Saturday evening and enjoy a hello. And if you'd like to get some merch or whatever else, or just see Ike in person, then you can be there and you can do that. We're going to put more details on that on the we're going to put that on Instagram and are the rest of our socials, Facebook and everything else. So if you need to know where we are, that is where you will find that information. And like our good friend Nolan Yap, if you want to get an Underpowered Hour t-shirt to fly your Underpowered Hour freak flag at the Overland Expo, go ahead and order one this week, and we'll get that out to you in time for the show. So speaking of the show, I think that's it for this week. We've got two shows of exciting guests coming up here. Plus, we're going to do some recording there at the Overland Expo, and then we're getting ready for yet another summer breakdown. This one will be coming the other way.
This one will just be an emotional breakdown,
just an emotional, spiritual, physical breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I totally forgot about our gambler experience that I would like to mention during this episode was that we caused a spiritual awakening.
Oh,
yeah. So on the evening, Saturday evening, we were circumnavigating the campground in the Land Rover, and this guy came running out of a campsite, which was on fire, by the way.
Okay.
And he jumped on the
campsite.
His campsite. It was on fire.
Yeah. Okay.
And he came running out and jumped onto the Land Rover, onto the hood, like sitting in the spare tire.
Yeah.
And he rode around with us for a while. and looking at all the other cars and the campsites and all the things that were happening. And we after about 40 minutes, we took him back to his campsite and we dropped him off. And he said, man, can I give you anything? Can I give you like any money or like any gasoline or any like alcohol, or is there anything I can do for you guys? And we were like, no, you're fine. You're good. Thanks for riding around with us. And he says, can I ride around with you some more? He said, I was up there on the hood of your Land Rover and I had a spiritual awakening. I'm not even kidding. And I told him no, that one spiritual awakening was like the limit.
Get out of here.
Yeah. It was the limit for the day.
You weirdo. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well,
it was great.
We can, we'll see. Maybe we can do the Ike Spiritual Awakening Tour at Overland Expo as well.
Baptism in 90-weight motor oil.
Yeah, that's how we do it. And it's the only way, really. I mean, I think, I think there's some, you've got to come up with your own, sacred scripture, and then you can register for, tax exempt status. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, at that, it's been
Reverend
a slice as
Stephen
always.
Barris.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's good. I've already got a fairly significant, like a religious deity beard. So, I'll just lean into it, man.
You just need a hat now.
Yeah, I got to get some kind of weird hat. I'll start working on that. Yeah, we'll have maybe something for next week. So,
all right,
well,
Stephen.
As always, it's been a slice. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Take care.